be a boy. I was being demonized. The Jehovah Witnesses were coming for me, girl. Hey baddies and girls, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I'm Sasha. I'm a proud transgender woman. I don't know how many times I've said that. But then since it's Pride Month, I'm gonna be doing a coming out story video. Me coming out as a transgender person. Well, I'm just gonna get straight to the point. I'm not gonna be all over the place because I just shot a video and I was all over the place. I'm just restarting. This is the second video I'm doing. So let me just get straight to the point. So I came out when I was 14 years old. I felt like I never really came out as gay. I just came out as myself, as who I am. I never put a label to that. I never said I was like, I'm coming out as gay. I just came out as myself, and I just kept it pushing. I'm sure a lot of y'all are curious how my childhood was. You know, I had a very beautiful, colorful childhood. I was a very feminine person. I resonated with the feminine side. I played with dolls. I just always felt so feminine. I looked feminine. I never really questioned my gender because I was just a little kid. Didn't know anything about gender. So, fast forward to being 14 years old. I came out when I was in high school. When I started high school, going on these years, I used to come back at home. I loved Beyonce. I loved me some Rihanna. I would come back at home, and always when my mother or anybody when they went to town, I would request and say to them, "Can you please bring me the music videos?" Ever, baby, I was a beehive, and I still am. I would listen to their music, Rihanna, Minaj. I've been about for a long time. Certified Bob, Beehive, Navy, Rihanna. Who else? I feel like Shakira, yeah. So I would come back home and just like put the radio on blast because I grew up in a musical home. And I would just have my t-shirts on my head and envision myself with long hair and just start mimicking all the music videos and just like, getting in that mode. And then came high school. When I went to high school, my brother was like, okay, he talked to me. I was like, hey, because he is a year older than me, he was like, I need you to get your act together and be not feminine. This is not primary. I want be a boy. So I was like, okay, let me just. And I bought that. I was like, let me just try and act normal and see how it goes. I was a very, very, very handsome boy. I was, ooh, child, I'm not playing at this point. The moment I arrived, I had people having their eyes on me. Anyway, it's not about that. Living in a closet was very bad because it's like having to put on a mask each and every time you wake up. You put on a show, a persona, something that you're not. And I've always felt different. I've always felt like something was missing. I was like, okay. Because sometimes there were times where I would cry alone. Nobody, you know what? When it comes to me, I would cry alone. I experience things alone. I'm just that reserved person. You would never tell that I'm going through something unless I tell you I'm that type of person. So I just decided that I'm just gonna come out. I did it. I never sat down with my mom or uncle or brother or sisters or any friend. I was like, I'm just gonna come out as myself, and that's it. And you know what? Growing up, I never really had any exposure to the LGBTQ people or seen a gay person just wandering around expressing themselves, because in the community where I grew up, they were very old school. It was either the highway or nowhere, so I never really saw people like that or saw people that I could resonate with. So when I came out, it was a huge thing, because a lot of people thought I was crazy, I was delusional, I was being demonized. The Jehovah Witnesses were coming for me, girl. They were like, oh, this is a call for an exorcism. I'm just kidding, but it never went really that far. But then they were just demonizing me. I was getting insulted by the oldest of people. Imagine a 14-year-old having to go through that. You know, people were cussing at me from the smallest to the oldest people. They were coming for me, and it wasn't. I didn't focus on that, because each and every time they would trash talk me, I would get death threats literally walking down the street or going to school. Especially men, they would come and tell me that I'm crazy, I need to be beaten, I need to be disciplined. They said a lot of nasty stuff. I don't deserve to live, I need to be killed and stuff like that. Imagine at 14 years old, all those things being said to you. But then I was confident and still am. I was like, okay, I don't care. I don't need anybody to validate me. I don't need anybody, anybody's approval to be who I am. I'm just gonna do it, and I'm just gonna see what happens. And for quite some time, there was a time where I thought I was gay. I was like, okay. Before coming out, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be that, straight acting gay person. I'm not gonna be over the top. And there was this friend of mine, male friend of mine. He was like, he was older than me. I was like, you are this type of person and stuff like that. Deep down I knew it, but I was in denial. I was like, no, I'm not gonna be like that or feminine. I'm just gonna be straight acting and keep it pushing. But then a year later I came out with that 14, and the experience was very horrendous, was very horrible. I was alienated all throughout my community. Even at school, I had people threatening me, even teachers coming at me. But then I was like, I'm gonna keep it pushing. And I felt so liberated. I felt free of that mask, of the closet. I was like, oh my God, this is me. And there was a time where I started getting uncomfortable with my body. I didn't like what I saw in the mirror, what I felt. At that time, I didn't know that there were transgender people. I didn't know what transgender is. So I just, there was a time, I got a smartphone. So I went on YouTube. I was like, I typed the things that I felt. I'm like, this is uncomfortable in your body, uncomfortable with your, those areas and stuff like that. And then I bumped into Nikita Dragon when she started her transition, and I resonated with a lot what she was saying, and that's when I found out the transgender term, that the transgender person. A lot of things that I found resonated with how I felt. And I also found Gender Westbrook. Anyway, they don't know who I am, but I know who they are. So anyway, that's when I discovered that I'm trans. Because a lot of things I resonated with, I felt, and I related to that. So I was like, okay, I wanted to transition medically like a long time ago. And I remember I was speaking with my sister. She was like, no, you want to do that type of stuff when you're older and stuff like that. Just focus on school now and stuff like that. You know, my heart, I was so heartbroken. I was like, what is this girl saying? I want it now, I want to transition now and stuff like that. But then I was bullied a lot. I lost friends. I lost everybody that I knew. Even my classmates, people thought I was crazy. I was a mockery. I was made fun of by a lot of people. I don't want to get emotional because these hormones, girl, they get to you, period. They get to you. But then for this video, I'm just going to keep it together. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it together. I was bullied a lot. I went through a lot mentally and emotionally. And plus also I had my uncle was very, very like, I could say transphobic, homophobic. He would tease me, he would do those funny stuff, and but then as time went by and he saw who I was, who I really was, he started accepting me for who I am. Even my family, even my brother, he had a very like hard time accepting me for who I am. You know, he was very in denial about it. He was very, I don't know. It took some time for him to adjust to me being trans, even my family. But then my mother always knew. There was a time where I sat down with her. She was like, I always knew that you were different. You were like, you were trans. But then back in the days, like there were no transgender terms. So she always knew, and I just finally like had that chat with her. She was like, I accept you. She was, you know, my mother, she was the first one ever to accept me. She even like told my siblings, because a lot of my siblings would tease me about that. They would say some funky stuff, or you know, kind of be homophobic or transphobic towards me, and my mom would just like, you know, shout at them and just tell them, no, this is your sibling, you have to protect her, stop what you're doing, because if you are discriminating her like this in the family, what are the strangers going to do? If they see you doing that as a family member, they would have that advantage of that. You know, they don't care about her. We might as well do anything we want. So shout out to my mother. She still supports me. She's been behind my back, and she's been, you know, I always talk to my mother. I'm very close with my mother. Each and everything that I do, each and every step, even the hormones, she's there. So I'm very, very grateful to have a mother like that, because she accepted me for who I am. She didn't judge me, she guided me. And she would have a lot of older people coming to her and telling her, why are you crazy, letting your child do those kind of things? And they would try to make her feel bad about it. And you know, she told me that she said that you may say anything that you want, but then that is my child. I love her the way she is. I gave birth to that. And if she's a demon, and that means she's my demon, okay? God wouldn't curse me with a child like this. This is not a curse. She's a blessing to me, and I'm just gonna love her the way she is. And a lot of people had a hard time adjusting, but then I was confident. I was confident and resilient and I stood for myself. I stood up for myself. I had nobody else backing me up outside of my home. When I was alone in the streets, I had to fight for myself, not physically, but you know what, be confident. And I didn't let what the people were doing to me or saying to me define who I am. The more that they were homophobic, the more that they were transphobic, it gave me that adrenaline rush. Like it gave me that thing that is like, I'm gonna do more. You cutted me today, tomorrow I'm gonna come back extra than I was before. So I had that attitude, my confidence was on 200%, and my story spread around my hood and different hoods. This is first my days. I was very confident and beautiful. Okay, I'm still gorgeous. Look at this. So I my story spread of my confidence, and that's when I built a community for myself. I had people now starting to stand up for me because of my confidence. They saw that I'm just a person, a kid trying to coexist, and there wasn't a problem with that. It was just a people's problem, and also, I became myself to the point where my whole community stopped with their transphobia. They literally stopped. They warmed up. They started warming up to me, understanding me without even coming to me. But they were watching from a distance. They saw my growth as I grew this past few years. They saw that, oh my God, okay, they started accepting me, and then that's when I started saw people, LGBTQ people expressing themselves and stuff like that. I feel like I went through Nicki's hate train. You know how the Nicki Minaj has train. Oh my God, English. The Nicki Minaj hate train, what she went through. I felt like I resonate with that. I went through that, and the whole people were against me and stuff like that. But then they loosened up, things started opening up, and then I felt like I was maybe a barrier breaker or a way maker with my story, with who I am. Yeah, with who I am, I feel like opened a lot of doors for other people to be themselves, and for the community just to not be that strict and be more accepting. And back at home, I'm pretty well known. I don't know. I don't take myself too seriously, but then a lot of people know me because of who I am, because of my story, because of my resilience. I didn't let what people said to me or the transphobia that was thrown at me define me. But then I let it build me. Those doors that were thrown at me, I used them to build a kingdom, to build a wall. So to this day, even if somebody comes to me and be just transphobic, it wouldn't sting, it wouldn't hurt, because really, come on, we're in the 21st century. I've seen a lot, I've experienced a lot. Tell me something new. It's kind of that way. Yeah, on my side, I feel like it's that way. It doesn't faze me anymore. I don't become sad anymore. But anyway, in this life, you only live once. And there was this day where I told my mom, I was like, if I die, I would be proud because I really lived. I don't have any at this moment, I don't have any of those materialistic stuff that I aspire to have. But then as a person, I felt like I left my mark. I left my mark. I lived a lot. Yes, Beyonce said it. I told her that if I would die today, I would have no regrets because I lived a fulfilling life. I was myself. If death came now, I wouldn't be afraid because I'm content with who I am. I'm proud with who I am, and I'm happy. So anyway, let me cut this video short. Do not be afraid of to be who you are, and don't strive to blend in. Being different is the most beautiful thing that you could ever be. Keep being you. Don't let anybody tell you who you are, because only you knows who you are. And you know what? At start it may hurt, it may, feel like nobody loves you, but at the end of the day of the process, there's happiness. And let me tell you, if people try to use religion against you, God loves us. Okay, God is for us. God is for everybody. So if you hear people using religion to just say, oh, okay, people, God knew us before we were even born. So you get what I'm saying? But then that's not the whole point of this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you took something from this video, because I felt like it is all over the place. But then I am who I am because I am who I am. I'm confident. I love myself. I love who I am becoming each and every day. And I would never trade anything of this experience for anyone, for anything. Because it has been amazing. It built me to be the strong person and confident. I'm not faced by anyone or anything. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to leave a comment. So leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Yeah, I guess this is it. Bye. That is a no, no, no. Just so you know, no.